Hey there guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are back doing a roundup of our top 30 indie games featured in the Steam Summer Sale, and this time we have got 3 of us to round up 30 indie games from the Steam Summer Sale that we would highly recommend you check out. Just want to say hi to Juds firstly. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you, mate. It's great to be here as always, and I'm really looking forward to the picks we're going to be talking about today.
Fantastic, my friend. And Scott, my man, how are you doing? Looking forward to some Steam Sale goodness?
Yeah, likewise, mate. Really looking forward to tonight. We've got hopefully a lot of recommendations for people to check out on Steam, so it's going to be a good show.
Fantastic, awesome stuff. Well, it's great to be doing it with you guys, as we're going to get a nice rounded set of games, 10 games each, and yeah, we're going to waste none of your time, guys. We're going to jump straight on into our 30 picks, and I'm going to get the ball rolling for us today. So yeah, I'm just going to start this off with Hotshot Racing, just because it's a fantastic racing game, so much fun to play, but I noticed what an amazing deal it is on at the moment at $1.59 in the UK, which is incredibly good. It's a steal. It's amazing. This game is so much fun. It's so smooth, you know, old school arcade racing. You cannot go wrong with this pickup, in my opinion. If you're interested in my review, obviously that's on the channel. Excuse the little cheeky nod there. But I recommend this for $1.59. You cannot go wrong, and it's a blast to play this game. And like I say, at $1.59 in the UK, $1.99 in the US, it's pretty much a steal to check it out. So yeah, highly recommend. Big thumbs up to Hotshot Racing, guys, and it's a great one to start off with today. So yeah, let's do this. We've got 29 more to come for you, and I'm going to pass it over to Scott next with his first pick from our top 30 indie games from the Steam Summer Sale.
Yeah, so honestly, some of these deals at less than £2 in the UK is pretty much outrageous. And the next pick I'm going to have is the same. I'm going to go for Inside.
Very nice.
Obviously one of the best games I've played in a long time, which is just £1.69. Could have picked those first 2 games for less than a coffee, which is crazy. So yeah.
Absolutely incredible. And yeah, just what I noticed as well on that one, because it's always a big recommendation of my own Inside as well, because it is just one of those games that is top notch, isn't it? Really, it's you know, one of those masterpiece games. But I also noticed that there was a Limbo and Inside pack, just to mention too, and it's £2.32. It's just bananas.
Yeah. Those 2 games together for $2.32 is just an outrageous value. I know they've been around for a little while, and they've been in and out of Game Pass. And it's probably turned up on Steam a number of times in these sales. But if you've not picked it up, if you're new to the Steam ecosystem, like myself, then these are must plays.
Most definitely some of the best games ever made. Definitely. Judzilla, my friend, I'm looking forward to hearing your first pick, bro.
Oh yes, absolutely. Well, my first one is such a beautiful game that really took everyone over recently, and it is a very recent game by Wishfully, published by Thunderful, Planet of Lana. Of course,
fantastic.
It has to be Planet of Lana.
Great,
wonderful pictures.
Yes, such a beautiful game. The only complaint I got about this is I couldn't stop playing it, so I finished it quite quickly.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's currently £13.59 pounds in the UK, 20% off, and I think that's a pretty good deal. It's such a beautiful game. It's a really nice, touching story, and it, of course, spans. It goes places where you don't expect when you get towards the end, and
definitely.
It's fantastic. And you've got a companion cat ball with a tail thing. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's very cool.
Fantastic. Well, great start, guys. Looking forward to the rest of this. So my next one is going to be one maybe more expecting of what I might pick. It's one I talk about quite a bit as a Metroidvania fan. Big fan of this game. Maybe it's a little bit underappreciated, though, to some of the massive Metroidvanias out there. And this one is Ender Lilies. If you are a fan of Metroidvanias and you haven't checked this out already, I strongly recommend you do, as it is an absolutely wonderful game. It's such a beautifully made game in an audio visual sense. The art style is absolutely stunning. The music is truly incredible, like masterpiece level. And yeah, if you like Hollow Knight and games like that, of course, this is an easy recommendation as something else to try out after. I really like the way the combat's done in this game, as the combat is sort of built around all of the bosses in the game. So when you beat a certain boss, you take on their attributes and you can sort of like harness them and use them in combat in different ways. So there's quite a bit of variety of how the combat plays out. The Metroidvania elements are strong. It feels amazing to explore this game. It looks stunning. It's a high recommendation for myself, and it's only $10.99 at 50% off right now. Like I say, one of my strongest recommendations, this one. Highly recommend checking it out if you haven't already. It's an awesome Metroidvania. Just a quick side note then, Hollow Knight is on sale as well. Pick it up because it's not on my list because it's too obvious.
I did wonder if you're going to go there, Andy, to be honest. So.
Yeah, but yeah, always a recommendation in Hollow Knight for sure. But yeah, Ender Lilies is such a beautiful game, and yeah, it's a big recommendation from myself on this one.
So this one won't come as much of a surprise to you, Andy, but my next pick is Slay the Spire.
Oh, nice.
Which is one of my favorite games I think I've ever played. It's a roguelike deck builder. You've probably heard of it, to be perfectly honest, but it's $6.62 for us folks in the UK. There's honestly probably not better value in a game.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, you could literally lose hundreds upon hundreds of hours to this game if you wanted to. And if you're a fan of this type of game and you haven't checked it out, then please do. If you haven't tried this type of game, then this is probably the best game to maybe test whether it's something that tickles your fancy. So I would definitely recommend this one.
Great stuff. So yeah, Judzilla, my man, what have you got for us next?
This game is called Batora Lost Haven. When I played the demo of this, I was really impressed with the way it plays. It's essentially an isometric action adventure, and you effectively play this girl called Avril, and half the world's population have gone in a calamity, as does happen. You know, apparently someone snapped their fingers and everything. Yeah. So. Yeah, and effectively you get powers from the sun and the moon spirits, and that affects the way you can attack different enemies in combat. So they're susceptible to the sun power or the moon power, basically melee and long range. Yeah, it's really, really good. I got it today actually because the mail came in today and reminded me. I completely forgot about it. But I would definitely recommend this game. It's 40% off at the minute at £11.99 in the UK.
Nice.
And from Storming Games, published by Team 17. So that's generally a good indicator of quality there. But
definitely.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay, so my next pick is going to be a game I've talked about recently on the channel. I did a review of this game, may have seen it. If not, feel free to check it out again. It's not about me just plugging all my own videos, I apologize, but this one is going to be The Last Case of Benedict Fox, guys. Another Metroidvania. This one is particularly special. I thought this game was absolutely wonderful. It's a Lovecraftian Metroidvania, amazing art style, just incredible atmosphere, a beautiful game all around, and quite a lot of other elements going on to the average Metroidvania as well, with the puzzle elements and stuff. But yeah, you play as a detective, so it does feel a little bit different in a sense to, like I say, other Metroidvanias where there's a bit more involvement in depth in the story and solving the case, I suppose you could say. But yeah, I highly recommend this game. It's sitting at mixed on Steam at the moment, which is absolute travesty. This game is a fantastic game. Don't let that put you off at all. I think when it released, there was a few issues with bugs and stuff like that, which have been ironed out now. So if you have been sitting on the fence about it, I think now is a great time to jump on in, especially on the big sale that they've already hit on it. It only came out in April, and it's already at 40% off. So $12.59 in the UK and $14.99 in the US. So yeah, fantastic pickup this one, especially for Metroidvania fans. Big thumbs up for The Last Case of Benedict Fox.
That's a steal.
Yeah, great pick, Andy. Great pick. Yeah, so my next pick, sticking to, I guess, this little theme we've got here of more recent releases, I'm going to pick Dredge. Now, this game, when he came out, I believe May. I might need correcting on that.
30th of March.
March. Apologies, a little earlier than that. I've just completed it just this past week. It's a game that I was interested in, and I waited until I picked up my Steam Deck. Completed it in about 9 to 10 hours, so it's relatively short. As you can see, it's been reviewed very highly by users on Steam, and it's the easiest way to describe it is it's a spooky fishing game. If that intrigues you at all, then I would definitely recommend checking it out. Obviously, with it being a recent release, it is only 20% off at the moment, but I think even at 20% off, I would definitely recommend picking this game up.
Well, that's a great pick in my opinion. Fantastic stuff, Scott. Yeah, so Juds, my friend, what do you have for us next?
Next, I have a game that was old and has just become new again, because this game originally released on the PlayStation 5, I think it was last year, which I picked it up on the PlayStation 5. It's just recently been announced for Xbox, and this is, of course, Stray by Blue 12 Studio.
That's a beautiful pick, isn't it?
It's another Annapurna belter. And like I said, when we saw this at the shows last year, I was like, you get to play a cat. I love cats. You get to play a cat with a backpack on, which is even more awesome. And you're kind of in a cyber city, sort of puzzler trying to get your way out. And everything about this game is it's just fantastic. I love it. And you can make the cat meow on demand, which is just, there you go. What more do you need?
That's all you need in life.
Dogs. That's what you need.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Hopefully there'll be a dog game next in that sense.
So yeah, pick this one up. It's a beautiful game, and I highly recommend it.
We probably should mention the price, $18.74, like you say, 25% off, and lower than it's ever been at $22.49 in the US. So yeah, a good price basically. So my next one, I think I'm going to go a little bit older school. It's one that you probably heard me talk about before on the channel, but it has to be recommended because it's always on such an amazing deal, this game, and it's such an incredible game. It's a masterpiece, basically. That is Celeste. The way it just blends the sort of challenge of the game, that it is a challenging platformer, precision platformer, but with an amazing story of overcoming, sort of anxiety and stuff like that, and the way it sort of plays off each other as well. In the game, you're climbing this mountain, the mountain of Celeste, and yeah, that is the challenge, but it's also a challenge from within, and I do really enjoy that sort of clever balance that they've done. So you're overcoming these demons and the anxieties, so you're climbing a mountain from within, and you're also climbing the actual mountain, but it's just brilliantly done in so many senses. The pixel art is spot on, the platforming is so tight and awesome, feels so fun to play, and you definitely know if you've made a mistake in this game, it's your fault. So yeah, definitely I highly recommend Celeste. Like I say, I recommend it all the time on this channel. It is one of the most incredible games. It's a masterpiece, and if you haven't checked it out already, definitely do so, as it's one of the best ever made, basically.
This time I'm going to go for Ori the Collection, which is going for a wonderful price of just $8.99. I was just going to put both of these games on my list, to be perfectly honest, because these are two of my favorite games of all time, if I'm being completely honest. I love both of these games equally. Blind Forest at $3.74 is just an unbelievable amount of value, but I think both these games are just $8.99. These are going to be two of the best games that you'll play, in my opinion. They are absolutely fantastic. I know these games are probably well known. If you haven't heard of Ori somehow, or you're yet to play them, then there's no better time to jump in than now. Maybe pick up the first one, $3.74, because like I say, I think that's amazing value. But these two games are two of the best Metroidvania games that you'll ever have a chance to play.
100%.
So my next one is another game I completed, which has an amazing discount on it, and it's one that we all know very well. If you haven't played it, you really need to get on it. It's called, of course, Omno. Nice. And this is Studio Inky Fox, single developer. It's such a beautiful game, sort of third-person exploration, puzzle-solving game. I struggle to kind of pigeonhole the art style, but it's so
low poly.
Low poly. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. But what surprised me in this game, I've just seen it there, is the lighting in this game as well, and the different vistas that you go to. He's skiing now, he's on the sand, and you've got the atmosphere with all the sort of haze in it. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Love this game so much, and for £2.99, just go and buy it. Trust me, it's fantastic.
Yeah, big thumbs up again. It's such a special experience for sure. Nice emotional journey.
Absolutely.
Speaking of journeys, and I'm going to try and do a cheeky little link there. I'm going to go to my next pick, which is Journey.
That was one of mine.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad I got you back for one. Brilliant stuff. So yeah, Journey, of course, one of the games that if you've missed this game from quite a few years back, obviously it came onto PC in 2020, but when it was on PlayStation, it was a lot of years before that. But yeah, if you missed this one, definitely check it out, as this game has been so influential, has inspired so many, a bit like Inside did, kind of thing. Yeah, just an incredible, short and concise, emotional experience, which you just have to live really just to understand its beauty. It's, like I say, about 2 hours or so it's not going to sort of take too much of your time, but you're going to feel after those 2 hours that you've had a really incredible experience, and I highly recommend you check out Journey and just go in with as little information as possible and just be ready to experience everything. Environmentally, it's stunning. So yeah, definitely big thumbs up to Journey, and it's only $624, equal to the lowest it's ever been at the moment in the UK, lower than it's ever been in the US at $749, and yeah, 50% off. So check out Journey and get yourself ready for Sword of the Sea, basically.
So next for me, Indy, is another one of my favorite games of the past couple of years, which is Death's Door, which comes in at a wonderful £6.70, I believe. One of my favorite games the year it came out. I would recommend this at full price at any time. This is a really, really wonderful game. The combat's just excellent. It's really tight. It's really responsive. The art style is amazing. You play as this little crow with a sword. It's really, really good. I would highly recommend it. Yeah, especially at that price. It's got some puzzle elements to it as well. The music, as always with these types of games, is absolutely wonderful as well. So absolutely check this game out if you haven't yet.
Definitely. That is such an incredible price. It's got to be the lowest it's ever been. Yeah, so it is equal to its lowest it's ever been and lower than it's ever been in the US. So yeah, $670. That is probably one of the best picks I think of today for $670, isn't it? That's a stunning game. Great stuff.
Yeah. And this is another Devolver Digital game. Again, one that we saw the announce for on one of the shows, and immediately I saw it. I'm like, wow, I have to have this game. That is Trek to Yomi.
Nice.
Wonderful pick, Juds. I should have had that on my list, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful game. Again, we talk a lot about art style. The art style in this game is absolutely fantastic. All black and white. You do side scrolling as well as sort of quasi 3D as well. Really good story. Well, typical story really, about the guy that's his master died effectively, and he was sworn to protect the town, so he's going to sort that out effectively. Won't say too much more.
Revenge story, isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, revenge story, as may come up in another pick later. We'll see. 40% off at just over £10. It's an absolute steal. It's like Planet Lana for me. This one, when I started playing it, I couldn't stop playing it. It was just beautiful.
Okay, so my next pick is going to be DARQ. This is a game that maybe flew under the radar for some people, but as you can see, it looks absolutely stunning, an incredible art style. It kind of takes some inspiration from games like Inside, but it definitely changes things up quite a bit in the sense of the gameplay. As you can see, the rotating sort of orientation of the actual environment is an incredible mechanic, which is very much prevalent throughout the whole game. And it's a very clever puzzle game, as well as it being just an amazing sort of eerie atmosphere throughout the whole game. It's not like intensely scary, so if you don't like scary games, don't worry. It's more that sort of like unsettling vibe, if you see what I mean. A bit like a Little Nightmares or something like that sort of vibe. But yeah, this game made by one person, by the way, and I believe they did the music as well. Just incredible work that they did. Deserves so much love, this game, and the price of £4.64, 70% off. It's an absolute steal. I really highly recommend you checking out this game and picking this one up. DARQ Complete Edition as well, so it comes with the 2 DLC add-ons, so you're getting a lot of value out of that. And yeah, I definitely give this, I know I keep saying it, but the big thumbs up once again. Definitely check out this game, guys. It's fantastic.
Okay, my next pick, I'm going a little old school, Andy, this time. I'm going to be picking Castle Crashers, which you've got on the screen here. So this was, 2012? I can see on the screen there.
Yeah.
That this was originally released. So yeah, but this is effectively retro now. Believe it or not. Anything over 10 years is considered retro. But at $199 to get this game, especially if you can play with a group of friends, I think is a fantastic price.
This is a great pick. Definitely, I love this pick. It still looks amazing, doesn't it? Like, it hasn't lost its appeal at all. It's probably more awesome looking than ever.
Yeah, I mean the art style, it is timeless, isn't it? Like, it'll look fantastic for forever, and it's one of those games where it's how it feels, and that can never get old.
Yeah.
How this game feels. So
I love it.
Yeah, definitely pick this out if you I believe this was one of the original Xbox Live Arcade games back in the day. So if you're not old like us lot and you didn't check this out back then check it out now.
Right. So my next game was originally on PlayStation. I think it was exclusive for about a year or a little bit longer. It's coming out on Xbox. Of course, is on Steam. An amazing game, Sifu. Again, it's similar to the one I was talking about earlier. You know, these games start with tragedy, and in this case, your father's killed in front of your eyes, and it's another revenge story. But some fantastic mechanics on this. As you die, you actually increase in age and gain experience, and that's kind of how it works. You have to complete the game before you don't die, I guess, completely of old age. But yeah, really beautiful game, some fantastic mechanics in it, and really cinematic as well. It reminds me of some of the old kung fu movies.
Oh,
so yeah, beautiful game. And this one actually is $23.99 in the UK. That's down, I think. What is it from?
That is 25% off. Yep.
25%. Yeah, perfect. 25% off. So this one, I'm not sure. I'm going to possibly wait for the Xbox One or get it on Steam, but I didn't get it on PlayStation because I wanted to wait for the Xbox version. So
yeah.
Yep.
So awesome pick, and it's a super cool game. I'm a big fan of martial arts films and stuff like that. So if you love that sort of thing, it's definitely for you. But yeah, the gameplay is so fierce and awesome. But yeah, I picked this up on Epic Games actually. So
okay.
But yeah, it kind of makes me want to. I know, it feels a bit weird actually having it on there. It doesn't feel that convenient, so I'm almost tempted to pick it up again on Steam now. So yeah, we'll see. Great stuff though, Judge. That's an awesome pick. Okay, so my next pick is going to be a game I checked out this year, a bit more a recent game, and that is a game called OTXO. So this one is definitely Hotline Miami kind of vibes, intense, really tight, awesome feeling gunplay action. It definitely keeps you on your toes. You have to be high alert. The enemies are pretty fast and furious, and they don't let you off easily. So you do have to be, like I say, quite on your toes in this game. But you've got a cool mechanic on your side, which is a slow down time mechanic, which is super fun to play with. Made by one person again. They really are doing amazing things, these solo devs. And again, I think this one is the music done by them as well. And the music in this game is super pumping electro awesomeness, basically. So yeah, OTXO is a hell of a time. If you love these sorts of top-down shooters, this one does it superbly well. It's roguelike as well, of course. So if you like roguelikes, this is definitely one to check out.
So next up for me, Indy, is one of my favorite games of the past few years. That is Katana ZERO. This game caught me by surprise. I can't even remember why I checked it out originally. It wasn't even on my radar, and then someone said, "Look, you've got to check this game out." It's got a real interesting style, but also the way it approaches gameplay is pretty cool. So effectively, playing this samurai, and essentially you're playing out the scenario, the room ahead of time, and then if you fail, you kind of run it over again in your head. And then when you get it right, he plays it out in real time. It's a really interesting way to approach that. Shout out to the soundtrack of this game as well. And it just feels amazing to play. And it's £7.67 on Steam. If that's where you want to pick it up, that's still amazing value. But you can get a little cheaper, a little over £6 over on Fanatical, if you want to check it out over there. But yeah, wonderful game, and what seemingly seems to be a pretty big free DLC update is coming at some point in the future. So just keep an eye out on those Devolver showcases, I guess.
Okay, Indy. So my next game is Flower, which I completely missed. Annapurna published this. It was originally on the PlayStation 3, believe it or not. It's a very, very short game, but if you want something that's relaxing, almost meditative, I guess, very colorful. You effectively control the wind and fly petals through the landscape and bring them to life. It's a really beautiful looking game, and of course this was the predecessor to Journey. So yeah, just a quick and easy pick there. I think it's worth getting at £1.59, so great value, 73% off.
Can't go wrong, can you? Definitely.
No, absolutely. Yeah,
that's a great shout. Nice pick there. Okay, so my next pick is going to be The Messenger. Definitely a game I love to recommend as much as possible. I think a lot of people have checked this game out, if I'm honest. It's another Devolver gem, but it's also developed by Sabotage, who are making Sea of Stars right now. So if you haven't checked out their original work, The Messenger, just incredible. It's just a bonkers concept in the way that it actually changes its kind of focus halfway through the game. You sort of play it as a side-scrolling kind of almost like arcade-like ninja game, I suppose you could say, where you get to the end of the level and you're done. And then halfway through, the game will kind of change into a Metroidvania where you go back through the game exploring the two portals and going through the sort of 8-bit to 16-bit world, which is just amazing. So many cool little comedic story elements as well. There's a lot of comedy in this game, which is unexpected and brilliantly written. But yeah, this game is a real fantastic one. It's one of my favorite soundtracks to actually just listen to. It's just proper retro sounding, but just done so well. And everything about The Messenger is top notch in my opinion. One of the most awesome games to check out for those retro vibes, but also just blending it with the modern kind of game design as well. Messenger, if you haven't checked it out already, must play, especially for £4.18 in the UK, equal to its lowest it's ever been, and $4.99 in the US. Like I say, definitely check this one out, guys. It's awesome.
So next on the list, Indy, for me is my friend Pedro. Actually, similar to The Messenger, I think it's quite funny. This game, surprisingly, it's I guess it's kind of twin sticky. In a way, if I remember rightly, it's been a little time since I played this game, but it's unbelievable kind of fun. Like plays with physics a little bit. You've got a little banana companion.
I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
Please don't be saying things like that. It's just
I didn't
too
know how
easy.
to describe it other than banana companion. Okay, Andy, so next on my list is my friend Pedro. I'm not too sure how to describe the game, to be honest, other than you're shooting things with a banana companion. You've got a little banana companion. Oh, hey. God. So next on my list, Indy, is my friend Pedro, and I think that's all I'm going to say on the matter because this might just devolve into an absolute mess. No, it's a wonderful kind of twin stick shooter game. It's got kind of like a slowdown mechanic as well. It kind of plays with physics a little bit. At £4.18, this game is just a lot of fun to play. It's quite funny. We've said a lot of times in the past that humor in games is bloody difficult to do, and I think this game is. It's not kind of comedic in a writing sense. I just think in terms of how it presents itself, it's really good. So yeah, £4.18. Definitely check it out.
So my next one, Indy, this one came out in May this year, and it's called Only Up, and it looks like a steal at the moment. It's £5.95, your Great British pounds, 30% off. Looks very different. Graphically, it looks absolutely fantastic. Best way to try and describe this is kind of a puzzle platformer in the clouds above the city. Yeah, as you can see, some of this, again, it looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm a sucker for lighting, so that's just beautiful. But apparently it's quite tricky in some places, but I think the scale of the game and some of the different mechanics in it looks absolutely fantastic. So 2023 game, so this is going to be my pick here, mate.
Very nice pick, sir. That's a good one, actually, because I didn't actually know about it. That always is nice to find out about something new.
Yeah.
So yeah, $5.95, like you say, that's 30% off, and it's equal to its lowest ever been. That's the UK price, and the US price is $6.99. Great pick, my friend. Okay, so for my next pick, I'm going to talk about a game which I really loved, actually, when I played it. It is a fantastic Metroidvania. Excuse all the Metroidvanias. Hopefully that's up your street, though. If you're loving Metroidvania, hopefully I'm getting you covered with some ones you haven't seen before. This one is less on the combat side of things and more on the sort of platforming and puzzling elements. The platforming is super tight. There's some very clever and fun mechanics in the game with the portals, which do different things to manipulate gameplay in different ways, which is very fun and very clever. And the gameplay will feel very similar to a very popular Metroidvania that we all love called Hollow Knight. So yeah, if you like the platforming elements of Hollow Knight with a little bit of a twist with the portal mechanics, I think you'd really enjoy this game. And the art style really pops. It's a fantastic game in my opinion, deserves a lot more love. And yeah, like the price at the moment is £5.09 in the UK, which is a ridiculously great price for a game like this. A phenomenal game to check out. Not the longest game ever. It's been a while now, but I think it was around sort of 10 hours or something like that, one on the shorter side. But yeah, great sort of amount of time just to be able to enjoy concise experience, which has got a nice story to it. Also has some boss battles in it, which, like I say, there's no combat, but there is a clever way of doing things in the game where it does utilize sort of combat tricks, even though you're not attacking in a sort of conventional way. So yeah, that's very cool. But yeah, definitely check this game out. Like I say, £5.9 in the UK, $5.99 in the US, and it's equal to the lowest it's ever been in the UK, and it's lower than it's ever been in the US. So definitely check this one out if you're a Metroidvania fan, or if you just like what you see. Unbound Worlds Apart, thumbs up from me on that one for sure.
So next on the list for me, Indy, we've got to include this one for our good friend Luke Steele, who isn't joining us for this short night, but we had to include at least a couple of picks for Luke. But we actually are all big fans of this game. It's actually surprising to see that this was released in August of last year. I thought it was just earlier this year that this came out. How time flies, eh? But this is actually one of the most unique. It's difficult to even call it a game, to be perfectly honest, but it's one of the most unique experiences, is probably a way to put it, that I've ever played. So it's from Sam Barlow. You might be familiar with some of his other games, like Her Story, for example, and it's very unique in how you play the game, I guess, and discover the story that's being told, and honestly, some of the best performances, particularly from Man Engage, in any game I've ever played. So I highly recommend it if this is a game that you haven't checked out yet.
Prodeus. This is a game you have to get if you're a fan of old school Doom. Gore, pixelated gore everywhere, crazy weapons. This one is again from Humble Games, and it's down to £13.99 in the UK, 30% off. Highly recommend this game. Chaotic, as you can see, fantastic graphics, retro style. Love this game. So pick this one up. If you're into these kind of games, you won't be disappointed.
Okay, so for my final pick, I am going to choose Midnight Fight Express. Definitely a game I had a ton of fun with. Absolute blast of a game. Over the top fighting action, motion captured as well, which I definitely think makes so much difference in this game, especially with it being a top-down fighting game, top-down brawler. You don't see many games with like motion capture in this sense. I think it just sells it really nicely. Lots of combos, lots of great set pieces. If you like brawler games, maybe like Streets of Rage, the Turtles games and stuff like that, I think you'd definitely enjoy this. Get your combo meter rolling and get as many points as possible, as well as it having a pumping soundtrack to do all these combos too. So yeah, it's a really cool game, and I highly recommend checking it out. Great price on this one for $11.19, 30% off the usual price, so a bit of a steal there for an awesome game like this one, sitting at very positive on Steam. So once again, definitely check out Midnight Fight Express. You cannot go wrong with this one.
Okay, Indy. So next on my list, and my last pick of the 30 is a little bit of a safe pick, I think, but honestly, you can't go wrong with this game. One of the best games released over the past few years. We have Hades. So Hades 2 was announced just at the Game Awards last year. It's due for early access release this year with a bit of luck. So if you're excited for that and haven't picked up the first game just yet, then I think at a tenner, or a little over a tenner, £10.49 here in the UK, this is actually one of the best value games you can probably get on Steam at the moment. And like I say, one of the best playing games you will have the pleasure of playing. Like I say, I'm sure a lot of people have already checked this out, but for those who haven't, then please do.
100%.
Final pick for me, Indy, is a beautiful game called The Gunk. Came out in 2021 on Xbox, I believe, Game Pass. It's another Thunderfall game. And like we say, Thunderfall pretty much don't miss. So yeah, this was a really nice game. It's down to £9.99. Sort of exploration platform. I wouldn't say there's puzzles in it. It's got some puzzle elements in it, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward to play. It's not a massively long game, but as I say, it's a beautiful game. And as you go through the game and do different things with your, I can only call it a gunk gun, and seeds that you pick up and can spawn plants and levels for you, you effectively clean up the world, nice. Which is always a nice thing to do. So yeah, check out The Gunk. It's a really good game, and it's another one on the list that I finished back when it came out. I couldn't stop playing this one either, so definitely recommend this one at 50% off.
That is, I think, our 30 picks then, guys. It's been a lot of fun doing a roundup of our top 30 indie games featured in the Steam Summer Sale. Definitely check out the Steam Sale for yourself, obviously, guys. I hope we brought some attention to some games that you didn't know about and maybe you want to check out. But thanks so much to Scott for joining me today. It was a lot of fun, my friend.
Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, hopefully we've shined a little bit of light on some cool games that people can check out.
Definitely. You done some great picks there, buddy. Fantastic. And Judsy, you had some awesome picks as well, my friend. Thanks for joining me for this video today.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been an absolute blast, and you've cost me money because as we were doing that, I was buying some of your picks on Steam. So
love it.
Worth coming and getting some great games. So hope everybody enjoys it. Thanks, guys.
Awesome, buddy. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Check out these two awesome fellas on their Twitter as well, guys. The links will be in the description below. Obviously, you'll see them on the podcast as well. So if you feel like checking out the Indie Games podcast, that's where these guys will be most commonly be seen. But we are going to be doing some more video content on the channel with all of the folks from the podcast as well. So hope you enjoy what we've got coming up. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video today, guys. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that like button. And if you're a fan of indie games, feel free to subscribe. We'd love to have you on board. And yeah, thank you again for watching the video, guys. And we will see you again in the next one.